Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's coaster review, we are going to be covering Colossus the Fire Dragon, a legendary Schwarzkopf looper located at Lagoon in Farmington, Utah. I was very fortunate to be able to recently experience my first ever Schwarzkopfs at Lagoon, one of which being Colossus. The Fire Dragon opened its doors at Lagoon in 1983, although it had previously operated on the German fair circuit for a short time. Located on the far right side of Lagoon, Colossus is one of the larger coasters that calls this park its home. Standing at 87 feet, Colossus strikes a very intimidating presence to the common onlooker. Its yellows and blues shining in the sun and the retro trains thundering down that old track invokes a raw feeling of fear and awe. I genuinely believe that Colossus is one of the most beautiful coasters I've ever seen. But it's a different kind of beautiful. It's not the most clean or stunning or modern looking ride by any means. But the look of those huge loops and those awesome retro trains, it's like a mechanical masterpiece in my mind. It's amazing. If you decide to attempt to conquer this fire-breathing beast, you must first enter the station. The entrance queue is very interesting, as you first pass under a large metal sign, and then you traverse a metal passway that crosses over the track and leads you to the station. It really does give county fair vibes, but that does kind of make sense considering that Colossus was, and still technically is, a traveling coaster. Now, the line for Colossus was consistently short during my visit, and I hear from others that it is typically a station wait or a walk-on. This is mostly due to the fantastic operations at Colossus and at Lagoon in general. Now, to complement these operations, Colossus also runs multiple large 28-passenger trains that churn through guests like absolute butter. The trains also have very minimalistic and pretty comfortable restraints that speed up the loading process. Now, do be aware that the line can get somewhat backed up on busier days at the park though. Now with that out of the way, let's cover the ride experience. After the lift, the Fire Dragon begins with an 87-foot tall twisted drop that immediately flings the trains into two circular vertical loops. Now the first drop doesn't give any airtime at all, just like the rest of this coaster, but it is very fun to get thrown down that drop at 49 miles an hour. Now the two following loops deliver guests some very intense positive Gs that are pretty consistent throughout the entire loop. With this intensity, it is possible to gray out during these loops, especially the second. Now, after the second loop comes a tight turn left that also delivers very strong positives as well as strong laterals. The exit of this second loop and the following turn was the place that I consistently did gray out. This turn leads into a helix that climbs upward and threads through the second loop before diving back down again. The track then rises up and rides in between the two loops while also banking from the left to the right. This moment gives some jank laterals as well. The track then enters a double downward helix, with the second half of it riding only inches above the ground. This helix delivers more good positives, good laterals, very good head and hand choppers, especially toward the end of it. Following this helix, the track levels out and the train slides smoothly into the brakes. Overall, Colossus is a very smooth and intense ride that has well withstood the test of time. I kept finding myself coming back to ride Colossus throughout the day, causing me to rack up 13 rides on this legendary beast. Colossus is so good in my eyes that I do really believe that it rivals Cannibal for the best coaster at Lagoon. Review on it coming soon. I may only love it because I'm a huge fan of positive Gs, which I've always been, but I truly do believe that Anton Schwarzkopf had a gift in coaster design that we really don't see anymore. And I really do just believe that Colossus is that good. I will always remember my first ride in Colossus. It was also, it was my second Schwarzkopf, not my first, but hey, close enough. And if you ride Colossus, I promise that you will feel pretty close to the same way. If you like intense roller coasters, that is. Now, at the time of recording this video, which is July 2024, Colossus slots in as my number 10 credit in my rankings, which is right above Griffin at Busch Gardens Williamsburg and right below Cannibal, also at Lagoon. And then on a scale from 1 to 10, I have to give Colossus probably an 8.3 out of 10. It can't be a 10 because it's not a perfect ride. It has its jank moments, it has its flaws, it's slightly shaky at parts, but it also has to be that high because it's just such a good ride. If you go try Colossus, you will not regret it. If you haven't already, you should go do it. I also really do hope that Colossus sticks around the theme park world for a very long time to come, as Schwarzkopfs are slowly leaving us. We don't have too many left, and we need to preserve the ones that we do have, because I do believe that, even though I've only ridden two, Schwarzkopfs are a very, very special kind of roller coaster that I believe the theme park world needs. We need these raw, intense power machines that they just don't really make that much anymore. I mean, there are, I guess, B&M loopers and inverts, things like that, but they've been on the tamer side lately. And these Schwarzkopfs really just, I mean, they show that intensity strong. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this review, please consider giving a like or subscribe. And if you have any opinions on Colossus or roller coasters in general, feel free to share them in the comment section. Also, yeah, more reviews coming soon. Like I said, I'll have one out for Colossus and probably a next surprise one. Yeah,